So you guys will be electing your next president tomorrow. Now, some of us are here in the UK, here in Germany, here in African countries, Asia. We're watching this really, really close. And some Americans might wonder why we're also interested in American politics. But we're not really interested in American politics, but we are interested in the outcome of the American elections for many reasons. The American elections obviously affect us globally, what happens, because even until now, BRICS or no BRICS, Bitcoin or no Bitcoin, the world still operates under, the American petrodollar. So the economy of the United States directly affects us everywhere. You also have that mighty military, which is far ahead of even the closest rival. And a lot of people tend to think that Russia or any of these other countries are even close. No, not a single European country, not a single Asian country, not even China is remotely close to the kind of firepower and the abilities and capabilities of the US military. So the US dollar is not only backed by petrol, is also backed by the world's strongest military. So we are all involved when it comes to this. More than ever before, though, this particular election has been touted to be the quote-unquote the Bitcoin election or the crypto election. Now, I made a video earlier this morning. I was talking about how CZ of Binance was referring to the US politicians telling people what they want to hear and not necessarily be intending to do what it is they want them to do. So now we have on one side, one candidate is saying that they're really, really crypto friendly. They would do this, they would do that. But if you look at their history and the things that they've said before, they've said things like, I hate Bitcoin. Bitcoin is against the US dollar, blah, blah, blah. I picked the US dollar. But then you can put that to the fact that perhaps they didn't really understand what Bitcoin was at the time. And now with more research and they themselves haven't participated via meme coins, via raising money, they've seen the potential at least. Even if they don't believe in Bitcoin, in what it's here to do, at least they've seen its potential to generate money. So as a capitalist, they've figured out, whoa, this thing is huge. Let's get into it. Let's make money. Everybody else in the world is making money anyway. We're the inventors of this stuff. We're the ones that were ahead at the forefront of development and innovation. Why then give this away to other people? So it might not be that they themselves are particularly Bitcoin supporting, but they might just realize that, hey, supporting Bitcoin and innovation and allowing American entrepreneurs and American developers and American investors, American people to do Bitcoin is giving them, or at least getting out of their way, is giving them a fair chance to compete with the rest of the world. Because the world is not stopping. The world is grabbing this incredible thing that actually came out of the United States and marching forward with it and owning it, right? So a lot of things have been like this. A lot of things were invented in the United States, created in the United States. And then somehow the US government got in the way, created legislation to block those thinkers and entrepreneurs. And then people from outside thought, hey, well, if you don't want that, we'll take it. Thank you very much. And then they move forward with it. Before you know it, they've lost it. It's been lost to that foreign power, right? So one might think that that's the thinking of one of them. Well, maybe it's just too deep. Maybe they're not thinking of it that deeply. They're just thinking, let's say that I support Bitcoin and get some extra voters. We need all the voters we can get. The elections are so close, right? On the other side, we have another candidate that was just clearly against Bitcoin before, or crypto generally. In fact, one of them declared war on crypto effectively, or a member of their government declared war against crypto. As CZ said in his interview, Elizabeth Warren effectively declared war against crypto, started scapegoating crypto companies, scapegoating actual people, CEOs and stuff, went after those people with the full force of the law and threw the book at them, right? The same offenses that would have just got an establishment bank a little slap on the wrist or just swept under the carpet or just like covered up or whatever. They made sure that they named names and they took numbers and sent people to jail, right? But now, fast forward a few months later, as he was saying, he was in the prison thinking, whoa, what the heck is going on outside? We've gone from that to the candidate actually now saying, oh, you know what? We support crypto. We support Bitcoin. This is an innovation. It's an American innovation. They should be encouraged. We should be leading this. This is blah, 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 right? We've gone from that to, one of the co-founders of Ripple actually donating millions of dollars to the incumbent government, perhaps to bribe, perhaps to try and sway them. Maybe this was 3D chess when they hit them with the money and say, look, if we just put money in these guys' pockets, maybe they just do what we want. Maybe maybe we just hadn't paid them enough, right? In the back, they've been sponsoring each other. Man, who knows? All we know is that we dollar cost average, not financial advice, and hope for the best. As retailers, this is all we can do, really. We can do our own research, okay? And we can try and do the best with what we've got. So whether it be people on the left, people on the right, in the center, Bitcoin doesn't actually care about any of that. Crypto doesn't care about any of that. Crypto has freed itself, is detached from politics, is detached from the law. Really, it's detached from everything. Now, in order to participate in the Bitcoin ecosystem, you have to conform to the law of the land where you live. So as we go forward, as we get legislation from Europe, we get legislation in the United States, legislation in China, all of these bits of legislation will be different. And human beings, citizens, you and me, will be able to change location and move to those places where the legislation suits us the best. Of course, to counter that, the governments can enact laws to make movement a lot difficult, right? Already in the United States and in the United Kingdom, we're starting to see, more and more people talk about exit taxes, foreign taxes. I mean, already as a citizen of the United States, it doesn't matter if you actually leave the country and move elsewhere, you're still obliged to pay taxes to the United States wherever you are. I have a personal friend who moved to a West African country from the United States to, find favorable weather conditions and better tax, whatever the hell. But they still have to pay tax back home in the United States. You can't avoid that unless you want to become a fugitive or a criminal of some sort, right? The only way to do that, of course, is to renounce your American passport. There's a very popular crypto couple here on the internet that we know that have done that. I'm sure you know who they are. They have basically renounced their US citizenship to completely get away from the tax. And that's what some of you guys would have to do. But remember, in renouncing your national citizenship, you're renouncing a whole bunch of stuff, right? You're renouncing that protection that you get from the government when hell breaks out in the destination that you are. You're now not allowed to get on the ship to evacuate you, etc. You lose some of your privileges when it comes to travel. I mean, it depends on where you go. Some Caribbean countries have favorable passports that are also very good for traveling. Some European passports are awesome as well. And of course, that actual thing might set you back a lot of money that you don't have. So not a lot of people are going to have that ability to do that. Anyway, I've rambled a little bit. The whole point is, again, to remember that left or right, Republican or Democrat, whatever it is, whoever wins, Bitcoin is the same, okay? So what changes is the kind of legislation that happens in your own jurisdiction. Not financial advice. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.